Hallelujah. Giving, hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never, never change. You never, never lie. You never, never change. You never, never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Giving, hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise.
Come let's pray, Jehovah. Come let's worship Jehovah. It is of the praise. Come let's praise Him. It is of everything. Oh, the worshiping. Oh, He gave me life. I will praise His name. I'm here to praise my God, oh, because He gave me life. Come celebrate, come jubilate, come and worship Him. He deserves the praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise.
Hallelujah, giving, hallelujah, giving the highest praise. Hallelujah, giving the highest praise. Hallelujah, giving the highest praise. Ooh, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. Sing praises to Jehovah. Lift up your hands and worship. Lift up your voice and pray.
That's part of our obligation to want to say good morning, good afternoon to wherever you are joining us. I am Alfonso and so that was one of the funniest in the West African state of Liberia. That song is from the Maryland, the southeastern side. We always like to bring in the traditions and some of the goodness of Liberia. That's what we stand for, and that's what makes our Liberia Public Radio. Good morning, Ty. Good afternoon. It's a pretty beautiful day here in the East Coast after this heavy snowstorm, rain, trying to water down the ice. So it's pretty nice, and I hope those in the Midwest or the central area, you are also doing okay. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am Alfonso Z, and so we're going to get this talking point going to all of our beautiful followers. Reach quite a long while. We have been saying you, cheerleader car, and of course, Madam Jali yourself from the Salt Lake City. We want to say welcome. We're going to get this program going. And we're going to be taking a review of the visit of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Weah. The implication to what could be the political dividend, and someone who claimed to be the closer ally to the president. We're going to do a retrospect. We're going to do a reflection. Is he an ally? Can the president rely on him? Those are many issues we're going to be discussing. And of course, we are hearing of Ebola in neighboring country. The virus is still around. We got an amazing video here from young Liberians in Canada. We're going to be playing that, and hopefully we'll try to make room to see if we can even bring them here. These and many more are going to form part of our talking points. Stay tuned. Good afternoon from the East Coast of the Liberia Public Radio and LPRO TV, and I'm Afonso Zian. So we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your beautiful Tuesday. This is a regular edition. The forum looks at major news making headlines in Liberia and the rest of the world. I want to welcome you, of course, our senior analyst, Mr. Amos George. And we say it's a morning time, I believe. They're out there in Norway, Mr. Taboa as well. Welcome to this talking point. The president is saying that is better late than never. The president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, is on a nationwide tour. Our understanding he will be arriving in the provincial city of Zwedru this Friday. Is it late? It's better late. There's a saying that it's better late than never. Well, this visit pays out a political dividend in the long run. Well, the president is in a quarter in the Nimat area. We've been seeing images from Sister Network, groundbreaking ceremony, and many other things happening. So let's gonna have a conversation here. But what I'm also concerned with is the outbreak of Ebola Thai virus in neighboring Thai country. Is GOL, that's the government of the Republic of Liberia, having hand of VEG? Is there a conversation going on? What are the lawmakers are also discussing? I haven't seen anything official yet. It is my concern. What is the proactive measure? Even though, fair to mention, there was a release from the executive mansion on the day it was pronounced. The executive mansion issued a press statement. Is that enough? Or what are the consultative meetings that is ongoing? Well, not a new ally, but Prince Yomi Johnson, the senator of Nima County, is now closing rank with the president. But can we actually rely on Prince Johnson, knowing his history, who he is, and things that he has been involved in before? Well, the President Weah and Senator Johnson said they were both in the habit of Nima County yesterday. So let's do a little bit of backtracking here to see if we can validate our argument. And I put on the radar to give you a fair conversation to who Prince Johnson is and some of the things that he has said in the past. Can the CDC-led government or the president or the vassals to the president, would they all rely on Prince Johnson? Let's take a look. That was then, but we're going to bring it back into perspective. Let's take a look.
Very strong speaking out against Mr. George Weah. Why do you think he would be the wrong person to rule this country?
He was the world best, European best, Africa best, all the best, right? He made so much money. We are told $93 million. I stand to be corrected in this amount. But
I stand to be corrected. Those are the words of Prince Johnson. Perhaps he has made a numerous visits in Nigeria, and he's so accustomed to TDJs. So he stands to be corrected. Let's listen to him.
He made so much money to the extent that the United Nations looked at him and made him what? United Nations ambassador for UNICEF to donate his money to suffering children around the world. How many children in Liberia did he prioritize? Nothing. There's no George Weah Foundation. There's no sports academy. There's no recreation center. There's no public library for public school students. There is absolutely nothing. Money is gone. You want to be president to set over our resources. The same way you mismanage yours, you will mismanage ours.
That's Prince Johnson. At the time, during the heartbeat of the presidential race, when the soundbite and the red meat were thrown out there, that he wants the president wants to mismanage the resources of Liberia, and so that was what he was saying. Listen to him. Let's listen to Prince Johnson. All right, let me get this.
That's what I think. We fear rigging. We fear rigging. If there's a rig election, we fear national civil response by the people of this country.
You fear that she might use her power not to rig for maybe the Unity Party, but for her new favorite candidate now?
Well, she's a politician, is a very tricky person. A politician is unpredictable. So she might, because her son is in CDC. She might, and then Senator Gbesong Afili, that she has been supporting all along and interacting with, is also in CDC. McIntosh is in CDC. A lot of prominent people from the executive mansion, they are in CDC. So she might be carrying out a diversionary tactics while at the same time be aiming at somebody no one is thinking of. Nobody knows. Because her second cousin is Bronsky. Bronsky's mother, Ellen's mother, were first cousin. So Ellen and Bronsky are second cousin. Okay? So her son is in CDC. All of these people with Ellen are in CDC. So people might say, oh, you know, because her son is in CDC, she might rig in favor. No. She might possibly rig in favor of somebody I've been hearing about, perhaps Ellis Cummings. The stranger in the political terrain. But it's part.
Okay. That was then Niba County Senator Prince Johnson in the wise speculations and throwing all of the red meat and the kitchen sink out there. What he envisaged that the president of the Republic of Liberia potential rake of the election, which we didn't see happen, by the way, thrown out there prior to the election. It's all over the place. The conspiracy, the political correctness of politicians, they can say, they can do anything, can come back to rewrite history. It didn't stop there. Keeping you honest and just taking you from where we came from and to where we are heading. This was Prince Johnson again.
With all of the trouble we are faced with right now, I listen to Mr. Bernard Ure, I listen to Aaron Costa, I listen to Honorable Yeka Koluba. Everything they have said boiled down to, we don't want to remove the president, we just want him to do the right thing. Go back to the men of God. The solution is not reshuffling cabinet. Those you call enemies.
Senator Johnson, in a little context here, forming solidarity with the arguments of the opposition, the Yeka Koluba, the Aaron Costa, the Bernard Ure. You heard him very crystal clear in his word that they all want something good. And so he's shifting gear right there. Let's see and see what he has to say.
Enemies are not their enemies. They are your brothers. They are Liberians. They want to see Liberia move in a straightforward way. If you don't listen to me, I will travel back to Nigeria to seek advice, whether I should continue my support or I should withdraw my support. You have been set aside. You are no more the crowd or the people you used to be with, Mr. President. Start witnessing Chelsea and Barcelona show. Every time I went there, this is all they were watching. I heard just a few days ago the president wanted to do reshuffle. That's good. But you may be moving people you think they buy and putting the worst people that will give you pepper and damage the regime. Go to the Prophet TB Joshua. You went after you succeeded and became president. The very people who are praying for us not to win are the people now we befriend. They become our Holy Father. If we used to drink, let us leave it and live a holy life. If we used to womanize, let us remember today that not every woman is free of being demon-possessed. You are now a president, but your regime from its starting is characterized by social demonstration, social trouble. Are you asking yourself why is it so? Yesterday, country giant moving, opposition gave way. The people are now saying they're calling us all of our country devil. He built houses that were burned, zinc houses, to concrete. The same people now voting against the Kennedy and speaking ill about their own son. Whoever is advising is a wrong advice. So when you don't pray for peace and do the right thing, when things go bad, we are all in danger. My solution to the problem is to go back to the men of God.
All right. That was a side prophecy. I'm not sure whether that was the prayer. Prayers move mountains, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure whether that was the prayer in the first place that God heed the prayers of TB Joshua, or whatever he is in Nigeria, whether he or Dr. We are considering as their spiritual father, that's okay. But those are the words of Prince Johnson, so trouble. You know, I stop womanizing, use all sort of red meats, and I throw it out there during the heat of the political process because he tried to strategically position himself. So when things have, for whatever reason, have turned around, he will have a documentary that he has put himself on the document. This is what I said. This is what I forecast. This is what I predicted. And he didn't listen to me. That was Senator Prince Johnson. How risky to deal with this gentleman. Is he a good political ally? Well, the president is now on a nationwide tour in Nima County yesterday. And Prince Johnson stood side by side with him. Courtesy of our sister networking Liberia ITV, provide these images. Let's listen to Prince Johnson in a different context.
At that time, I was campaigning for him. And Nima didn't vote for him. It was not the time. 2011, Mr. Weir got involved in the election. I didn't vote for him because I didn't want Popo man to be the president while he goes as VP. I repeat, Nema didn't vote for Mr. Weir 205, but I did campaign for him, and I was told we will vote for you as Mr. Weir as president because they wanted Ellen Johnson to leave. 2011, they wanted to vote for you, Mr. Weir. But because you who ran for president 205 decided this time in 2011 to go as VP to a proponent, and we felt it was not possible to vote for a stranger. But 2017, I stood with you and by you in Nimba, the land and bread of Nimba County, and the people of Nimba were apprehensive. When we vote for this young man, what will he do for us? Nimba County almost 99% almost went to Honorable Joseph Boyka. Our declaration, MDR declaration, to give you maximum support. After the declaration, we appeal to our people. The Nimba people believe in culture. They do not disobey their leader. This time they obey me, and they did a U-turn. And we gave you the vote that made you president of Liberia today. During that time, Mr. President, I stood with you on top of the pickup, and everywhere we went, I told the people of Nimba, I will not lead you to a jungle where leopards and lions are waiting for you to consume you. I will not lead you to a river where alligators and crocodiles are waiting to chop you up. I'm making the right choice, and I want you to join me. So the people of Nimba overwhelmingly voted you because they listened to me. And I thank you, all of you, my people in Nimba. God bless you. The opposition parties have been saying, you elected somebody and you people of Nimba are not reaping the dividends. But it's always good to be patient and wait upon the Lord's time. Since 1847, we are going to benefit from a road that will be paved and tarred from here to Tapatown, never in history. We are going to relocate the hospital in Sanikoli that is located very close to the train track, and when you are operating someone, the vibration of the train, it bothers the patient. That place is going to be relocated, and that is the reason why we have brought Mr. President, Dr. George Weir, to break ground in Sekepa for a new multi-million-dollar hospital. We are also going to complete other projects are there. Honorable Jeremiah Cole, the first time in history, since God brought Nimba County and put it down here, there has been no hospital in Complete, no maternity center, nothing. But he broke the ground. He has started the building already. President Weir is going to go there now to dedicate that multi-thousands of dollars project. There are so many projects that you will benefit from. Kansas City, since God brought this place down and established here, there is no city hall. So this is the first time you're going to have your own city hall, and Mr. Weir is a talk and do man. You only need to relax and trust him. Forget about all other opposition talks. We in Nimba, we believe in government because God institutes government. Mr. President, I want to say thank you, not just for coming, but for all of the feeder roles you done in Nimba, in Monrovia, all of the projects in Monrovia and even in Nimba that you have come to undertake and the one you undertook before. We want to say thank you for Mr. Maggie and Sonia Tua, the minister. They have been working with me very closely, and but I appeal to you because you already undertaking projects in Monrovia and in Nimba. I appeal to you, the godfather of Nimba, the political leader, Nimba County 1, and your closest ally, and your closest ally. Excellency, I thank God that you are a minister of God. I thank God you built a church and you preach many times. Before you became president of Liberia, you used to come to my church, I think 2 times. I sang beautiful songs to the honor and glory of God in your favor and to honor God. That road for EFBC to my church is bad. It's a road, yeah. It's a road medicine. It's a road medicine. Please take shame from my face. The road is bad. That's the road is historic. That's the road the man who is now the president used to walk on, used to drive on. That road cannot remain as bad as it is. People laugh at me. You supported your son to be president, and now your road is like this. So I beg you, before I take my seat as a president, my road from the Methodist Church to my house, the godfather member who has a president that he made cannot be living on a road that is dilapidated. Please face my road. Mr. Magere has been trying all his best, but I need a push from you. Every time the public report come, they will do marking. The people who houses are on that road, that's the main road they increased on. They do not have the public way has told them to leave. Can you help me pay my road to give me a facelift too? Before I go now, Mr. President, Nima is with you. Nima is by you. Let us live today. I said tomorrow is election. Nima County is one of the biggest countries. Next to Masorado, no other country is bigger than Nima beside Masorado. And when you take all the tribes from Masorado, Nima is the biggest. Therefore, we beg you, Mr. President, one minister of Post and Telecommunication President, nobody posting letter now. Everything about internet. Nobody posting letter now. On behalf of the people of Nimba, we appeal to you, do a reshuffle or restructure. Please give us 3 more ministers in places that they will be able to employ our people. Yes, so I thank you. God bless you. You are welcome. And we stand by you. We stand by you. Don't doubt us. Don't doubt us. We are with you. The 2022 election, we are standing by you. The devil will know is better than the angel yet to come. God bless you.
Okay, that's Prince Yomi Johnson, is the senior senator of Nima County, Republic of Liberia. As you know, Nima is a battleground.
First Lady of the Republic.
Nima is a battleground state, of course. The vote of Nima is very consequential when it comes to presidential race in Liberia. So does Senator Prince Johnson, they're making an argument for the people of Nima County, even though he said in the past, telling the president not to reshuffle is not anything. And this is what we've been saying from time to time. Politicians, whether oppositions in government, they are the same. They are just the same. All their statements is all about political correctness. It goes with the fact that whatever their interest is. So he's now calling on the president, I told him, to perhaps constitute a reshuffle and asking that his county, Nima County, he as a political godfather, do make out the king's men for the people of Nima County. And Nima, as you know, if you are a Liberian, the vote of Nima is very, very much important. So he needs, 3 ministers. Nobody is posting in a letter right now. And everything is on the internet, by and large. Yeah, the internet, the 21st century, the digital world has taken control. So that's the argument the Prince Johnson, Senator Prince Johnson is making. If we do some really backtracking, can the CDC or the coalition to rely on Prince Johnson? Now he has made a request. That's a political request, and political requests have political consequences if those requests are not met. You remember when the president made some appointment, he came out to say that there was a deal, and so there was 60% of local appointees. That was the understanding, that was the arrangement. What I was the bilateral or gentleman arrangement that also led to the victory of CDC. That was something perhaps were held behind closed door. And so Prince Johnson to block a lot of appointees by the president, including Assistant Development Superintendent friend and a friend and brother that I know very well, Peter Kamwe. Up to this point, he did not, and he has never to retain that position. So now, Prince Johnson has been very strategically position himself in a heartbeat of Nimba County. That 2023, by the way, he said 2022 is not an election. That's going to be 2023. He will tell the people, you were here when I told the president that we need a three ministry. Because he said, appoint these people and they in turn will give the people job. It's another version of increasing the size of government. Which, of course, as the political leader, he owns a party, he's part of the coalition, he can do that. So he's making a strategic and political calculation that if for any reason the CDC-led government or if the president, for whatever reason, did not adhere to his request, you never knows, come 2023, he can somersault, he can pivot into different directions. And he will go right back to the people of Nimba County and tell them, you were here when the president came. I always tell him behind closed door, and I'll tell him in the public, you were here when I asked, when I requested what the president should do for us. The president did not do that. So I have all reason to change my support, to switch political gear, which of course politicians are very noted of doing. So can the CDC-led government, can President George Weah, bang or rely on Senator Prince Johnson, following the history of this guy? Can he rely on him? And can the visit of the president pays off? Will it bring a political dividend? And like I say, it's better late than never. But we want to see the finishing line, at the end of this marathon, after the visit, some of the projects, the groundbreaking ceremony that we are saying. How is the opposition going to deal with this? Will they still be in the same soundbites, George Weah, without putting some sort of pragmatic and policies-driven plans that will change the narrative? I'm wondering, I'm waiting to see that happening. So we want to see how can Prince Johnson, the number is out there, and what is also alarming and concerning that I haven't heard anything that much from by both houses of government. It has been reported of Ebola in neighboring Guinea. Are they only waiting for the executive branch of government for action? Yes, the lawmakers, they are part of it. It's a separate entity, separate branch of government. They must also bring out their plan. We expect some sort of emergency meetings to be arranged now to put up a robust plan as to how this can. It is serious. And this is where the international community will not come in unless you request or you make a strategic plan. It is time for the Darrell Dillon side, Joseph side, the Akaras grade, and all of those who get the ears of the executive branch of government. It is time for them to sit together and begin to plan. You know, there's a saying that says prevention is better than cure, but we are noted of always managing crisis instead of preventing crisis. So everybody's sitting, everybody waiting. The president must speak. If the president can't speak, nobody can move. I thought by this time, maybe the coalitions, regardless whether the executive branch of government will adhere to the other, but to come up with the plan. And that's how you push or you press the government against the wall to make them to do things if they are not even doing it, so that you can have a valid argument at the end of the day. But if your supporters or those who speak for you and just sit on the podcast and range insults on national leaders, that is just ridiculous. It's just simply tell some of us that you just do not have an alternative. You are just not alternative to what is happening right now. Then you just need to shut it up. And so we expect our lawmakers to start calling on the Ministry of Health and all health practitioners to begin to formulate plans, a strategic and robust plan, how to take an approach or how to approach if for any reason. This is something that is very hard to contain. And one of the strong supporters of the CDC-led government, who is also an analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, Professor Asese Labos Zalo, made a stunning pronouncement here recently that he expects that the president should shortcut his visit and convene an emergency meeting as to how to address this Ebola crisis. And by and large, to a greater extent, I agree with him. We cannot overlook this. Let me pick up this call here for us to form part of the conversation. So it's one of our analysts, Emmanuel Boa, is calling from Norway this morning hour. Mr. Boa, good morning.
Yeah, it's actually good evening now. It's after 6 o'clock. It's almost 7. Yeah, 7 o'clock in the evening.
It's all 7 o'clock, and I have here 12:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I know.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the old man out there. Okay, so yeah, we are. I know you called, but there are a lot of things have been thrown out there. Whether this Prince Johnson, Senator Prince Johnson guy is a good guy to do business with after he told the president reshuffling is not anything and stuff like that. He demanding to reshuffle, asking for 3 ministries. He want his church, his sanctuary road to be paid by the president. Bob Road Medicine going to stand by him. And yeah, we are talking about Ebola, which is very cardinal, very serious to me. If we were to talk to our government here today, you as a Liberian, always involved in a constructive engagement, what will you be telling the government?
First of all, this morning, thank you for having me, Mr. So. This morning, I was on a Coastal show. I briefly mentioned that. Also, I think I said the government needs to take a decisive action right now, instruct the Minister of Health to put an alert out on number 2. That is a health crisis that is coming that we experienced a few years back, even though I know they have the modalities, but the
hold on.
That this Ebola situation is prevalent and we have to be very careful about it. You know, we know how much life is cost us in Liberia a few years ago. So it is starting now. So I really want the government to take a decisive action now.
When you say decisive, somebody that is listening out there, 771, just hold on, 77 number. Mr. Boa, when you say decisive, in what context, what sort of decisive action do you want your government? You can tell your government they have the right to, what you want them to do precisely?
Right now, the area that it is concentrated on is in the borderline area between Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. This morning, I also listened to the AYV station in Sierra Leone, and the health ministry and the health practitioner in Sierra Leone are dispatching a team of health officials right now to the border to make sure that they begin to sensitize the people in that borderline area to be very careful about this Ebola situation. And I don't know whether our government in Liberia has done anything about it. So they need to tighten the borders. They need to inform those officials that are along the borderline to make sure that they tighten the border so that they will regulate those that are coming in and going out.
Let me ask you here, Zaulo calls for the closure of the border. Is that something you're in support as well?
Even from the time the health crisis started, this coronavirus situation, the border was closed at one point. I don't know whether it is officially open now, but I think the border has been closed for a while. But has it been reopened? That I do not know. For me, I support temporary closure of the border so that they can put modality into place to make sure that they prevent this situation. You know, like you rightly said, prevention is better than cure. We don't have to wait until the crisis escalates before we start to mount people to go to the border. That would be late. Yeah, so we need to do something now. The government needs to do something. You talk about Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson is a political maverick, if you look at him. So if I look back in the 80s and late 80s, I think about one of our political maverick also in Liberia who was
KBK.
Yeah, KBK.
Mr. President, your people. Mr. People, your president.
Yes. So you see, so Prince Johnson he flows with the wind. So people have to be very careful. Yeah, he's a very strong influence in Nima County. Nima County is one of the largest county, the second largest county in population in Liberia. So if you want to win elections in Liberia, you have to also look at the people of Nima County and take them very seriously.
Okay, hold on.
So Prince Johnson is performing his political tricks.
Okay,
he's known for that.
Okay, hold on, don't go. Maybe this second caller might have a descending view to what you expressed. 77 phone number, are you there?
I'm here, Mr. Tour. Mr. Tour, how you doing, sir?
Hey, well, how you doing, my dear brother?
Not too bad. Let's get one thing very, very clear. You cannot close the border because it's impossible. We don't have one border point. I know it's a fantasy world. People say close the border, close the border. It's impossible because Liberia does not have one entry point with Guinea. It's all over the place. My recommendation would be we have institutions now in the country preparing just in case the Ebola crosses the border to make sure it don't hit us the way it hit us last time. That's what I'm going to say to that. But let me speak to the issue of Prince Johnson very briefly. Look, say what you weigh about Prince Johnson. Whether he's wicked, this man understands Liberian politics. He's using demagoguery. He's using tribal politics to get what he wants. Every single time it works. He uses Nima County as a bit, as if to say the people in Nima County don't have their own brain. He sees this man as a god. He manipulates it every single time. And the man understands George Weah. George Weah loves to be praised and be sung to. And it's exactly what Prince Johnson is doing. He's going to do that, get what he wants, and then he will flip anytime he wants. Look, listen, Hitler loved Prince Johnson. He understands Liberian politics. He uses it to his advantage every single time. That is exactly what he's doing. And George Weah is going to fall for it every single time. Because George Weah doesn't have his own mind. He wants people to sing praises to him and tell him he's this king, he's this, he's this, that. Look, if you lead your people properly, Nima County is just one county. We are not naive. We understand that Nima is a big county in Liberia. But if you give the people of Nima County the leadership that is required to transform Liberia, it doesn't matter what Prince Johnson says. Do the job properly.
How can that be done? Do you see, I had to do that. Do you see it, and Mr. Boy can also respond to that. Do you see it, this guy fading away so soon? Is there anybody that even the opposition, with that's part of the 4 political parties collaborated and putting together, 2023 Prince Johnson type job would be at stake? Do you see the opposition mending this fence to get Prince Johnson out of that place? Is that something anybody can guess about?
Look, let me tell you why you would not get Prince Johnson out of the place. You see, Nima County, I don't know what the people that are listening, they ever been to Nima lately. This is what the Honorable Prince Johnson does. Look, call him a murderer, which he is. Call him a conniving, thieving politician that doesn't care about the interests of Liberia, but elevating his own interests, which is true. But this is what Prince Johnson does. He comes, exploit. Look, he exploited Ellen to the point, well, the Liberian government, because Ellen did not have her own money, but he used that position to build little things here and there in Nima County. You have to understand the people you're dealing with in most of our country, not just Nima. They are highly uneducated. They are easy to convince with little shiny objects. And Prince Johnson is very, very manipulative when it comes to that. He knows how to dangle these carrots in front of these people buying motorbikes for cheese. Look, in the interior part of our country, whatever the chiefs say, go. Prince Johnson's election is not based on whether the people are going to vote for him. It's based on how many chiefs he can convince. So he buys these chiefs little things, which should be illegal, by the way. And then the chiefs now manipulate the people to vote for who they want. Prince Johnson is not going to fail. In fact, I really believe that Prince Johnson is going to be strengthened, because the failure of Prince Johnson means Prince Johnson will possibly go to jail. So he's not going to fail. He's going to use power to make sure he strengthens himself.
Okay. So,
thank you, Mr. So.
All right. So, okay. Thank you so much. And Mr. Boa.
Yeah. So when it comes to the issue of Prince Johnson, like I said, I agree with him that your political marvel. That's what I said from the beginning. And Prince Johnson knows his people, and the people in Nima County will not. For now,
they can't let Prince Johnson go. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they will not let him go, because Prince Johnson knows his people and he knows how to deal with them. Remember, Prince Johnson is a guerrilla fighter. You change status depends on the situation of the war, and that's what he does each time. He changes status, and when he changes, he always changes for the right. You know, so the people in Nima County will continue to vote for Prince Johnson, no matter. He held the hand of Representative Jeremiah Cone
Ekong is now joining him, so that helps to solidify his position, making him to really get grips on Nima County.
He plays his politics very right there with his people. So the people love him and the people care for him, and so he's doing what the people like. He might not be doing 100%, but he does a whole lot of things for Nima County, so they will continue to vote for him. You know, about the border issue, like my brother just said, you see, I know that the border is a polarized border. It is not easy to be closed, but when you officially close it down, you have the people have limited access. They might try to penetrate the border. It is possible, but if there's an official announcement that for now the border is closed, you know, only security activities will take place in the border. Make sure the health authorities are in those crossing points. Where are the major crossing points? I know you can man the whole border. It's not easy, yeah, but you will at least have control. And then we need to sensitize our people. If anybody cross the border that came in, make sure say that person goes to a health center to be tested and be checked. You know, that will create a scenario that will help us. But if we slack it, this thing will spill over and will be disastrous. So this is the time for our people to be very vigilant so that they can make sure that these things are controlled. That's my point. Yeah, the border can be closed. Yes, but the border is polarized. We know that you can't close the entire border with Guinea because it's very large. It's in a forest.
Okay.
So I agree with him on that point. But officially, we can close it.
No. Okay. So thank you so much. So why you make up before I let you go? Yusuf, I want to welcome Yusuf 1 second. Yusuf is one of our followers here. Yusuf, the number is in the US, so it's 6. Let me see. 682 is 011, not 231. So don't call Liberia. 231 is Liberia number. So it's 011 Yusuf, and you get 682-433-8802. So let me just put it here. So Mr. Boa.
Yeah.
This is the guy now. He made a political request, which of course he has the right to do that. That puts the president on edge. What happens when subsequent county that he's going to be going to begin to make a request as well? We need minister, we need directors and all of that. So what do you think the president will do? Or what do you think the president want to do now with this Prince Johnson request? And it is very strategic for me because he made this request right in the battleground state of Nima County, knowing fully well not in a short distance we're going to be having the election. So he is like getting the law off his head. You were here. I told the president what I want the president. You were here. I said it. With the president, with that, will he be compensated politically before 2023? Will we see that?
Well, like our previous caller said, our current president loves to be praised, and he loves to hear praises of himself. And so, Prince Johnson, being the person he is putting the card right on the table in the public domain. You know, if George Weah do not respond to these things according to what he's requesting, he will say, "Yeah, I told you. I have been telling him these things, even and we are one-to-one, and I came in the public, I made these things known so that you all know that I've been telling him." So he's putting him right on the spot. And so if George Weah does not use his own personal decision, he will definitely go according to Prince Johnson. And like you are saying, if he goes to the other counties, do the counties have right to make requests? These are individual things that you can do. You can make requests to the president for what you think is viable for your county, what you think is important for your county. You make those requests. That doesn't mean that the president is obliged to respond to those things the way they want them. He's not obliged to respond to what Prince Johnson wants. No. He's the president. He has a decision. He decides who he wants to appoint to whatever position he wants to appoint that person to. But the county or the senators, the senatorial caucus, they have the right to make requests to their president. I say we want this thing in our county. But it's the president's decision to decide whether he will do it or not. What political influence that will have on him, or what political impact it will have on him, he is left with his analysts to decide, you know, to know what to do about some of these requests.
Is it possible that Is it possible to collaborate, my dear friend and brother, Francis Doe, to want to welcome you? He's based in Canada, running his own podcast as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, can the opposition, there are 4 collaborative parties put together. As far as I'm concerned, their collaboration did not work. It did not achieve anything in the end of 20 senatorial race, and this is why either Gonglo were, because they were, all of them were just scrambling, no understanding, nothing. Can these people reconsolidate? Can they solidify their position comes 2023? If they can't get Jeremiah Cohn, I'm not sure whether Prince Johnson can be touched.
Well, as you see, first of these political parties that group themselves together, first of all, they all have their own individual agendas. And so it is very difficult for them to come together to focus on one agenda. Because they before they came together, they were divided. And they tried to come together so that they will put up a fight against the CDC. But even in that process, they were still divided. Are they going to be stronger in the future? It's depending on their leadership. Because the problem is each one of them want to stand alone. And if you want to stand alone, then how can you be together? So they will first have to come together and get rid of the ego. I should be number one. I should be number one. I should be number one. You have to put your support behind one person.
Yeah, 2023 is just right around the corner. Do you see that sort of refined message on the part of the opposition to engage the CDC-led government? Joy Weir promised to pay a visit, but he's doing it right now. You never know. There's some sort of momentum in itself. We've seen numerous groundbreaking ceremonies all ongoing, trying to solidify his position, preparing gradually. No doubt about that for 2023. We don't know what's going to be the outcome in terms of these projects and these development initiative. He's going to be going to Zwedu. That's another groundbreaking ceremony we are hearing to build a hospital. So Grand Jide has supported George Weah from day one, from the onset. Will we see some sort of political request as well?
Well, like I told you from the beginning, these are individual counties that will have to make decisions. The leaders have to decide what they want for their counties. And let me tell you, first of all, Liberia, people play politics in a very funny way. They wait until when the season is coming for the political process, that when they try to build grounds for things, and so that people will know that they are doing a lot of things. And after that, they forget. So I don't know. Yes, Grand Jide has been one of the counties that has supported the CDC all this year, not the CDC in particular, but maybe George Weah as an individual, you know. So the county has the right to request. We have some Ghanaians who are in leadership in Liberia today, like Alashos and Due at the CBL. So we have some of them that are there. And we have Nigerians who are senators representing their own people. So these people need to talk what the county needs. You know, do we need a hospital now in Grand Jide, or do we need an improved conditions in Grand Jide?
So the priority has to be identified.
Yeah, identify. Should we build a hospital now, or should we improve the existing one that is there?
We have a fragile caucus. I doubt whether they even met, whether they will even meet for before even the president. I should have hosted Senator Boy Charles of River G this Sunday here, but from there he will be going. So he messaged me the morning. Oh, Alfonso, can we table that? The president want to go. The president will be going to River G, and so the caucus, we all have to be there. This is something that I got to be hearing from our Grand Jide lawmakers. I'm not sure whether they are thinking in that direction. This person can't speak to this person. This person can't speak to this person. If Mr. A is at this event, Mr. B cannot be. So what's the point of all having these sort of people to represent us? And they are our direct representation.
And they are divided. How can they even bring the council together? If they are sitting in the House of Representatives, sitting in the Senate, and they are divided, their caucus is divided. It's very sad that these things are happening, because that would be retrogression for our country. Because if our leaders are not seeing eye to eye, how can the country progress? So you see, George Weah is also now taking his time to play his own politics little bit by little. He's going around the counties now, and people will start to get to know him more and more. And then he will promise this, he will promise that, and then people will get behind him. But for Grand Jury, I know Grand Jury always supports George Weah. But let's see, come 2023, what will happen? Because 2022 could be another year. There will be changes. Things are happening every year. We are talking about this Ebola situation. Is he has he been informed? Does he know that something is going on in the borderline?
I'm quite sure that yesterday, the day
Yeah.
before yesterday, there's a press release here, but I think it's honestly, I think it's insufficient. And one of the strong supporters of CDC, who is also a contributor here, Professor Zawlo, you knows him very well. Zawlo said, well, he needs to cut short his visit and come and address that situation, maybe convene an emergency meeting and stuff. Because
if he doesn't cut off his visit, so he don't need to cut off the visit, but he needs to speak publicly on that issue, because his security apparatus are with him, and these people getting the information about what is happening. The Minister of Health is there. You need to call the Minister of Health and give him instruction. Look,
okay, so then this is where maybe their lack of changing. You have the Minister of Health and all of the high people, they are traveling within. So then I know they are deputies and assistants. So who is the higher up now that is coordinating this whole thing to liaise with the Guinean authority and maybe send some experts or do some note sharing?
That's what they need to do.
So,
they need to liaise with the Guinean authorities, the Sierra Leone authorities, so that they will form a very strong pact. Even the Ivorian authority. This morning, like I told you, I was listening to the AYV television station this morning, and they were sending a delegation to the border, and they were also getting they were claiming that they getting in touch with the Liberian authorities and getting in touch with the Ivorian authorities so that they will have a consolidated effort on this thing. So I don't know whether that information has reached Liberia, and where people need to talk about it.
Okay.
We don't need to wait for the president, but the health authority needs to talk about it. Start to sensitize the people. We know what Ebola did to us. Thank you very much. It's very sad, but we just need to make our voices heard so that people will know that these things are very serious.
Okay. What you make of it before I let you go, I was talking to someone inside Liberia who is from a battleground state against Bon County. The president travels to Bon County, and again, we did not see the vice president. What does that suggest? Is still the gap is still there? There's still a break of gap. Is that a big deal? Why the vice president didn't go? Does that suggest in any way these people are still not coordinating to why the vice president could not made that sort of a little brave trip with the president in Bon County? Is that a big deal?
Well, usually it's not always the case that the vice president travels with the president when he's going on a tour. So I don't think that anything to be concerned about. If there is a break between the two of them, but she not going to Bon County, which is a county, and the president of visiting, I think it's just about 3 hours drive from Monrovia. I think she should have been there. But probably her legislative portfolio or something took over, because today they had a session.
Right.
I was listening to it this morning. So probably she had to concentrate on that session. And so the president was there, the superintendent is in Bon County, and the legislative caucus was there. Some of them were there, not all. And so I think it's not a break. I don't see it as any break anyway, because it's not always compulsory that the vice president be on a tour with the president. No.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to get your time. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's our man, Mr. Timanuat Boat, on the line from Norway this evening. My phone Susie, so we want to welcome our friend. Okay, I'm seeing a post here from Mr. James Tano that the health minister did not go. Okay, that's fine. I know. I believe that was the agriculture minister. I saw she spoke yesterday in Nimba County. Yusuf, the number there, we want to thank you so much. You one of our committed will restore upon you our prime time follower from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The number there is 682-433-8802, but the area code is 011. You are calling to USA. I am Afonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Let me take this quick commercial break. This is a special message of Liberian young Liberians based in Canada. That's the the Liberians Associations of Canada. creating still we are still within this COVID-19, the youth awareness campaign funded by the federal government of Canada to Emergency Community Support Fund, ESFL, through the Canadian Red Cross Society. Let's take a break and I will be right back. Okay, let me see here. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see here.
COVID-19 is a newly discovered infectious virus that causes people to have to stay away from their family and friends because of how ill it makes you, and it is killing millions of people all over the world. You can get it when droplets or particles are in the air from people who are infected, cough, laugh, or talk. You can also get this virus when you touch surfaces that are infected.
COVID-19 is very serious. It had killed over 1 million people in the world. That's how serious it is. COVID-19 illnesses has ranged from mild to severe symptoms, to the point of requiring hospitalization, intensive care, and ventilators. On top of that, did you know that COVID-19 has killed many Black people? For example, 83% of COVID reported cases are Black people, even though they make up 50% of Toronto's population. In order to prevent yourself, your family, and your friends safe from COVID-19, you must wear a mask, wash your hands frequently, and make sure to stay 6 feet apart from everyone when you get outside. By doing those measures, it will keep you and your families and friends safe from the virus. My name is Khadija Fode, and I'm a part of the Liberian community in Canada.
We all must do our part. No one is safe until all of us are safe. My name is Rudolph Joel Dennis, and I'm a member of the Liberian community in Canada.
It is time for us young people to do our part because COVID-19 knows no age limit. More young people are now being affected. My name is Lemuel Nufulu Johnson, and I'm a member of the Liberian community.
By preventing the virus, you're supposed to wash your hand, wear a mask everywhere you're going. Make sure you wear your mask. That one is good, important. You have to wear your mask when you go in places. Wash your hand. You must make sure you stay 6 feet away from your friend. Because if you not do that one, now the virus can start going. It can start spreading. And now when the virus will spread, when it spread too much, everybody in the community will be sick. Everybody in the country will be sick. So make sure the three important thing you have to do: wash your hand, wear your mask, and stay 6 feet away from each other.
You can get a coronavirus when you're around people now who they get a viral, when they can be sneezing, coughing, laughing, talking, when they spit from their mouth and go in the air. So you now won't go around it. Also, you can get a viral when you're touching something that get a viral from the people that who infected.
Wow. That's hey Francis Doe, this is something from your end there, true courtesy of Mr. Ty Johnson. Leo, who happens to be our own contributor here. Those are young kids, Liberian. You saw them speaking and they came into the simple English. Yes, simple English. You wash your hand and you don't touch things where you're not supposed to touch. Wow, that's amazing. So the awareness is still ongoing. The COVID is real. And we're saying it's less attention being paid in Liberia. Perhaps it's not there. And that's what we are noted for. We always try to manage crisis. We do not prevent crisis. And for God's sake, this is something that we have to pay heed to. Here we are talking about Ebola next door. So we have to do everything possible we can. You know, I know, especially those in the Western world, the effect, the devastation this corona. Only just yesterday, in quite a long while, the numbers dropped. But that's not just auto aid. If this country, one of the richest in the world, still battling, still finding it difficult Even though the vaccine is here, but it doesn't mean because vaccine here, you should just get yourself or do whatever you can do. So it's quite amazing. We will talk to Mr. Johnson, hopefully to have these kids, the young people here, how they got involved, what prompted them to do this sort of awareness. I want to say about our hands up to the Liberian base in Canada for such involvement, involving the young generation, the youth, into community initiative is sponsored by the federal government of Canada under the auspices of the Red Cross. That's amazing, and this is what we're supposed to be doing, that what we should be doing. It's 1:17 Eastern Standard Time right here at Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We've got a few minutes to go here. By 1:30 here, hopefully we're going to be drawing the curtain down here in today's edition. Let me see. Is that Yusuf? Okay, let me see here what Yusuf is calling. Okay, I didn't see the call coming. So just bear with me a little bit. Let me take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Fiber Queen of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hair ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fiber Queen on 6695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high-quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodland Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba. Oh yeah, that's Fabrice Queens. They are one of our sponsors. I want to welcome my man here, Mr. Carlson Bell is in the house this afternoon. Hopefully you are doing great. Gloria, welcome, and all of our listeners and followers, wherever you are. You're welcome. If they're your first time, we say we wholeheartedly welcome you on LPR. That's the Liberia Public Radio. You can subscribe, you can give a like, and that way you will be able to get a light when we are here. Most of the time, there's some disappointment here by our audience and viewers because we don't usually go your way. We provide the talking point that we feel that is necessary for the country. That does not suggest whatever that we do here is 100% by perfection, but we create a conversation, more or less open conversations, keeping it proportional and bringing you. This is not a public relations. It's not a public relations. This will bring you to authentic news that you need to know or things that you need to hear. However, we also accommodate your views, your opinions expressed. However, whatever they express here does not in any way represent the form and shape or the management of the Liberia Public Radio, but we do help to facilitate this sort of hardcore conversation. So you are always most welcome. We are open to suggestions. You can critique or you can disagree with us. That's no big deal. Or we just ask to maintain civility in the context of having better conversation for the good of our country. This is what we try to enforce, and there's sort of zero tolerance with that when it comes to that. We are very careful in terms of language that is being deployed or used on this network, because sometimes our case and other people are listening. I am not saying other people their language is using is wrong. I'm making specific reference to the Liberia Public Radio. All right, and so you have a business, and we are open to let us know. We can also have a commercial. We can do your commercial. We can advertise your business, whatever you do. Even in the event you have a virtual convention, as you know, because of the COVID, we have to keep the social distancing and all of that. We have the capacity to conduct a virtual convention. If you have an organization or whatever event you want to do, we can have that done remotely, and you will still have people to see it, and it will be live right here on the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Well, so it's 1:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you for sharing your afternoon with us. By God's willing, same time, same station. So we'll be right back here tomorrow at 7 p.m., 7:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where our political pundits, our analysts are going to be here. We're going to dissect and put it into context and see, does the president visit get a long-term dividend? How prepared is the opposition to counteract or to make their argument? The president is already laying his foundation to solidify his political position for 2023. So I know Yusuf is trying to call from Nigeria, but for some reason I'm not seeing the option to really call him back. I'm not sure what is going on here. So Yusuf, maybe we'll try to work on that. If it doesn't work today, hopefully we can do that. We can do that. We are already almost out of time. Okay, let me see here. Let me see. Just bear with me here. Oh, I see where the problem is. Okay. Hey, Yusuf, how are you? Hello. Yeah. Okay, good. You want me to put you on air? Yes. Okay, all right. Let me put you on. Thank you. Okay, are you there?
Thank you. I'm there.
Okay, thank you so much. Yusuf is calling from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Nigeria. Which part of Nigeria do you live?
Kano State.
Kano State. And when you talk about Kano State, I think about legendary Kano, who used to play for the Eagles. All right. You always follow Liberia Public Radio. What do you like about us?
I really appreciate the way you are broadcasting your news always the time.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much. What's the bad thing that we do that you want us to fix? Pretend I'm not on. You can say anything as long as you don't cause my mind, you don't cause my power, which of course you're not going to do. What other things you want us to be talking about here?
Okay. I want you to talk about the situation happening in our country now.
Okay. What's going on there?
Some crisis happening in southern part of the country.
Southern part. What specifically happening there that we need to know, Yusuf?
In Ibadan, Oyo State, they are killing northerners.
Wow, some sort of crisis. Is that an ethnic crisis or what? What are they killing them for?
Tribal crisis.
Tribal. Wow. Is the federal doing
Yes.
some? Is the federal taking action on that or not yet?
No, they didn't say anything about.
No, they haven't said anything. You said?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yes. They didn't say anything about. Only one of our former senator did the place.
Wow.
But he is not the active senator.
He's not active. When you say he's not active, what is he not in the Senate again, or he's a former senator?
He's a former senator and the former Kano State governor, engineer Dr. Ali Musa Konkos.
So what is the state of what is the situation there right now? How desperate is the situation, Yusuf?
The situation is very bad.
Do they have is it some sort of state of emergency in Kano State right now? And curfew, for example?
Yes, we went to Pressman to call the attention of our leaders in order to take action.
Okay. Is it possible through you that here at LPR here at regardless, and Nigeria is a good friend of Liberia? I can remember during the civil crisis, Nigerians paid the price. A lot of Nigerians were killed. They went on the peacekeeping missions. They sacrificed for their country. So we also, we don't want anything that will cause lives in the country, regardless wherever it is. Now I have your numbers. Probably we can arrange and we can have people here one day are willing to talk to, or we can also bring them here. I think anything, if there's peace in Liberia, if there's peace in Nigeria, peace is in Africa. So we want our continent to be peaceful. We don't just want to talk about Liberia, and I really, really appreciate you. You usually follow us. I'm always observe that. So we'll get in contact with you off air, and perhaps we can talk to people and maybe see what is happening, because we have the ability to bring live images there when we can capture that so that the rest of the world will see. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, well, what I can say is, keep yourself safe. Do everything possible you can, abide by state laws, federal law, and our prayers and thought goes out. We hope that everything will be resolved peacefully.
Okay.
I will try to call you off air, and perhaps we can arrange something better. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Good night.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, there you have it there. Yusuf, he's from time to time, he has been one of our followers from Nigeria. You saw he put the number here he wanted to call, and he's telling us what is unfolding now in the northern part of Nigeria. Historically, the northern part of Nigeria is always like a hard zone. But it's good that we know these things, and so that we can also get it out there in the public domain. It's not just on Liberia. Peace in Nigeria, peace in Sierra Leone, peace in Ghana, peace in La Cote d'Ivoire is peace in Liberia. We have to form that sort of African solidarity. We must be in solidarity. When there's a roof on fire in any of the neighbors, it must be our concern, because we just don't know whether they're going to spill over to other places. Wow, this is Yusuf. I want to thank you so much for your time, and all of you folks. Again, like our page, subscribe to our channel, so that way you will be able to get our news alike. Until then, I'm Afonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Have a pleasant Tuesday. Please, the virus is still alive and well. Do everything possibly you can to keep yourself safe. In the interest of African solidarity, we want to take you home with this song from neighboring La Cote d'Ivoire.
Jima
Okay, before we go quickly here, we want to announce on Sunday I will be hosting Mr. Erod Madison, is representative expiring for District Number 1, Granger County, as you know, because the elections of Zoe Emmanuel Pennon to the Senate creates a vacuum for one of the districts. So Erod Madison will be appearing here on Liberia Public Radio this Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please keep watch, and will be Francis Dort and all of our folks here. I want to thank you so much. Those of you joining us for the first time, again, just subscribe in your Facebook search engine, type in Liberia Public Radio, like, follow, and so that way you'll be on top of what is happening from inside Liberia and other parts of the world. You listen to Yusuf just calling from Nigeria. So our prayers and thought goes out to our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, to whatever confusion that is there. They will find that political solution will be found. This is crazy. The entire world is just in a complete mess. Khalifu, Kawanda, and all of you, to great peoples, Derek Poor, brother to Blamant, and all of you folks, our own friend and brother, send you right there from upstate New York. Thank you for joining us. See Tape. And of course, man, Yusuf is our primetime guy here, Mary Jackson, Doris Mensah, Paul Williams, and all of you great people, Mr. Bear, Mr. Carter, thank you for your contributions, and Lopez. They are a lot of diverse people, Esther Mendy, Isano Blackie, and all of you. And of course, our own LPRI Emmanuel Boat in Norway. Have a pleasant day, and stay safe.
Kapiten Jima